Hi, I'm Tereza from PotomacBeads. Today we will create together my fossil shell earrings with Czech fossil shell beads, Czech cubes and Miyuki Seed Beads. So let's gather the supplies and start working. To make the fossil shell earrings, we will work with a cubic right angle weave stitch. This is another take of this favorite stitch. We will create a frame with seed beads and Czech Cube beads, and then we will insert the fossil shell bead into it, and that will create this lovely earring. So we will be working with wildfire thread, having now size 10 needle. Later you might want to have size 12 ready as we go many times through the beads. You might find a place where you get stuck, so you might want to switch to the smaller needle. I prepared a bit longer than arm span long piece of thread, but I'm pretty sure I will add a new piece as cubic right angle weave stitch is rather a thread eater, so we will probably add some more. We will start with Miyuki Seed Beads. We will work with the 11/0 here with the matte bronze ones and with the cube beads, and later when we are finished with the whole frame we will strengthen it with 15/0 and 11/0, and then we will add the fossil shell bead and finally the earring finding. I went for these, the medium size. So let's start working with cubic right angle weave stitch. If you don't know it, try to have a look first at Ellie's video on how to learn the cubic right angle weave stitch, because I don't explain it into such detail as she did. So watch that first, and then you can go on here and make these fossil shell beads. So let's do that. So let's create the first part. So put on 1 11/0, 1 cube bead, 1 11/0, 1 cube bead, slide it down, leave a tail, and go through the first seed bead one more time. And this is the bottom of our cube. So now we will create the inside, which will be here leaning towards the fossil shell bead. Now that inside is made of two 11/0s, which are here, 1 11/0 hidden, and 2 more also here for the other side, of course. So go on through the 11/0 you started from. So now you have something like this, and continue to the cube. So now we are doing this part, so put on 3 11/0s, 1 cube, and go down through the 2 11/0s which are like this on the side. Then go through the cube you started from, and the 11/0, the other 11/0 in the bottom. So we are now at the top part, which is here. So pick 4 11/0s in total. 4 means 3 which are the same like here, and the one which will go here on top, and go through the 3 11/0s here on the side, and continue through the 11/0 you started from, like this. And the last part, which is the same like we did here, but you need to also do the other side. So continue to the cube, and now we already have some beads here. Continue through the cube, through the 2 beads here from the side, not the one in the bottom, but the 2 above it. Pick another cube, which is the last bead missing, and go down through the 3 11-ohs here on the side, the cube in the bottom, and pull. So now you have the full cube, but we need to connect the top as well. So go again up through the 2 11-ohs on the side, and now into the 11-oh cube, other 11-oh cube, and finally the first 11-oh you started from. And this is full cube. It's a cube right angle weave stitch, so this is your first cube, which is actually not a cube but a special geometrical shape which I don't know the English name of. But this is what you will copy around the whole earring. I will show you the second cube so you can continue. So let's do that. So put on 2, 3, and 2 more. So you have 5 11-ohs in total, and that we will put here, which is the inside again, and we will connect the 2 cubes together. So continue to the 11-oh you started from, like this. Now turn to the side, go through the Czech Cube bead, put on 3 11-ohs and 1 cube bead, go down to the 2 11-ohs on the side and the cube bead there as well. So this is this side. Then turn, go through the 11-oh, which is connecting the 2 cubes. Put on 4 11-ohs in total, so 3 will go here, 1 here at the top. Go down through the 3 11-ohs on the side, 1 11-oh, the 1 11-oh as well that we started from. This is this outside part. Turn again. Now we do the other side, going through the cube, and then up through these 2 11-ohs, pick 1 cube bead, go down through 3 11-ohs, and down through the cube. And now we need to close the top part, so go up again through the 2 11-ohs here on the side, the 1 11-oh here, and the rest of the beads as well, without adding anything. So 11-oh cube, and also the 11-oh you started from. And here you are ready to add another cube. So this is it. Now you have 2 in total, and you will continue by adding more. So you continued like I did, and now we have 17 cubes in total, which means we have 18 Czech Cube beads on one side. We will finish the 18th cube with connecting the first and the last one, and then we will add the fossil shell bead. So I finished here as usual at the top, and now we need to connect the both sides. That means we will use some of the beads from the other side instead of grabbing on the whole total, which means instead of 5 11-ohs you will grab first 2, and then don't twist the frame, but put the 2 sides together and go from the correct side to the starting 11-oh like this. So now we have 2 beads here. Now put on 2 more 11-0s and continue to the 11-0 you started from. So now we have the inside part done. Continue to the cube bead. Put on 3 11-0s. And we will connect the side here, so go through the cube bead on the other side, pull, and now continue through the 2 beads we just added and the cube bead we started from, and pull so it comes together. Continue to the 11-0 here. Put on 3 11-0s and continue to the 11-0 here at the top, which was on the other side. Pull and go down through the 3 11-0s that were there and to the 11-0 you started from. And now finally we need to connect the beads here on this side as well. We won't be adding anything because everything is already there. So just continue through the cube bead to the 2 11-0s, the cube bead on the other side, and the 3 11-0s here on the top as well, and finally down through the cube. And that's it. The frame is finished. So now it's a bit wobbly. We will add more beads around the edges, which will strengthen it, but first we will add the fossil shell bead because now it's easier than later when the frame is already nice and tight. So let's add the bead. So one more tip before you start dealing with this guy: hide the tail of the thread so we are ready and nothing is preventing us or bothering us there. So we will be connecting the fossil shell beads to these inside 11-0s. So continue from the cube bead to the inside 11-0 here. Then put on the shell bead. And now my thread is coming out here. And now I need to find the opposite bead inside, which is here underneath this cube bead. And I want to go from the same side. So I'm coming out here. So from this side, I will go through the 11-0, which is right across the circle. Now pull, sit the fossil shell bead inside and go down through it and back to the 11-0 you started from, but from the opposite side you started from. And that's it. Pull so the bead sits nicely inside. And when we add the beads here, the frame will tighten and hold the fossil shell bead inside, so it should not turn. I can turn it a bit here because I wanted to show you, but if you tighten and you work tight enough the whole time, the frame should hold it. If you are afraid that it won't, just go one more like we just did through the bead. I prefer not to do it because the 11-0s here might sometimes have issue with so many threads inside. So if I don't have to do it, I just went twice through this guy instead of 4 times. So let's move on and add the now 15-0 beads here inside and strengthen the frame. So here on the inside we will group the pairs of beads into 4 and add only into each other gap a 15-0 bead. So let's start first by going on through first two beads, I mean the first pair. Now pick a 15-0 seed bead and go through the next 2 pairs actually. So here the gap, we will skip it and pull, add another 15-0, go through 2 pairs. You don't have to go at once, you can go 2 and then 2, another 15-0, and then like this alongside the whole circle. Then we will have to switch to the other side. So continue and then I'll catch you up. I'm adding the last one. So like this. And now behind this 15-0 there is an 11-0 hidden, of course. So use it to get to the other side. And here. Get first through 4 beads without adding anything. And here we have the 15-0. So now pick a 15-0 and continue through the beads. Now I have here quite a lot of threads, but I'm okay. So continue through the beads like on the previous side, always 2 pairs together with skipping a gap between them and then adding a 15-0. So I'm finished on both sides of the inner side edge. Now we have to move to the outer one. So I finished, this was my last 15-0. I continued through the 4 beads and now I'm coming up here through the cube bead and then through the 3 11-0s. And now the drill is that above the place where we didn't add anything, there we will add a 15-0. Then go through the 3 beads and you get to the place, to the gap above a 15-0 here on the inside. There you will pick another 11-0, a second color. I'm using the same color of the 15-0s and the 11-0s. And go through the 3 beads again. And like this. So you will switch. Just depends on where you started from. So again, above the place where there was a gap without a bead, start with a 15-0. And above the place where we added a 15-0, there will come a 11-0. And like this, continue around the edge, and then we will move to the last one. Here I am adding my last 11-0 into the last gap. And now let's move to the other side. We will go through the 11-0 here. It is hidden behind the 15-0 as well. Then go first through the beads, through the 3 beads you have there. Then you copy what you did on this other side. So I have here an 11-0, so I will add there an 11-0. And then into the next one where I have a 15-0, I will add a 15-0. And like this, again, around the outside edge. It's the last one. Then we will add a loop for the earring or jump ring, depends on whether you are making a pendant or earrings. and then the piece will be actually finished. So let's do the last edge and then I'll catch you up. So I'm adding the last 15-0 and I will come out of this 11-0. There I will be adding a loop. So I was quite lucky, and this 11-0 is in the exact spot where I want it to be, which means the spiral of the snail is positioned well for me. I want it to be the same way. If you are not so lucky as I was, just continue through the outside edge and find an 11-0 which is in the correct position for you to add the loop. So I'm picking 6 15-0s. My thread is coming out of the 11-0 here. I'm going through the same bead from the other side. I have a earring finding that allows me to edit later. I'll just scoop it on. If you don't forget that you need to edit here. So you will put first 3 15-0s, then the finding, then the 3 15-0s again. But here I will just put it on later. Then continue through the first 4 15-0s. So 2, then 4. So I will be exiting here like this. Put on 2 15-0s and go through the 11-0 on the other side. So like this, then put on 2 more and go back up through these 2 15-0s at the top. And pull and position so that everything sits nicely. And now we started here, but I want to strengthen this loop on this side, so I'm going to the back and going through the beads one more time, finishing again at the top. And now the last side that needs to be strengthened is this one. So let's go down there and return to the 11-0 you started from and continue through the beads on the outside edge, so you get away from this point. Here I will knot off the thread and hide the tail. Let's put on the earring. Now I'm super confused, but anyway, just do it like this. Yes. And that's it. It sits in there like this one. So after I knot off the thread, it is finished. So this is it. These are the fossil shell earrings with fossil shell beads, Czech Cube beads and Miyuki Seed Beads done in cubic right angle weave stitch. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed making these. I have a few more colorways in mind to make because these are quite fun and kind of fast. So if you need any of the materials, you can look below the video into the description box, where you will find the link if you need to purchase something. If you finish the earrings or the pendant, I'll be looking forward to seeing your pictures in our Facebook group for beading and jewelry making. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial and see you in the next one.